mercy's about.
Rocky Hackworth is operations manager for Pritchard Mining Company. You started all the way up there. How long ago?
Oh, in this area right here? Yeah. Oh, we just started up there probably last month.
Last month? So you've worked all the way down here and hit the seam right here.
Correct.
At this small mine at Cabin Creek, the company has blasted off 25 meters of mountaintop to reach a seam of coal less than half a meter thick. That'll be how much coal will you get out of that?
It'll be approximately 4 million tons time we're complete mining.
With a labor force of only 35 people, this mine operates 20 hours a day, constantly loading trucks with coal destined for electric power plants.
The men and women on this job are absolutely imperative to the electrification of America and the continued progress that we make as a world leader.
Bill Rainey represents most of the coal industry in the state.
And the amazing thing is, the ones that oppose the mining industry, have you ever heard them give you a viable alternative to coal? To some means of making electricity for 99% of us in West Virginia, or better than half of America? They don't come up with any alternative.
For decades, it's been called king coal, an industry that's always been a major power broker here, today using advertising and public relations to build popular support.
My job's not for everyone, but it's a job that matters.
The companies say mountaintop mining is just another method of mining coal.
Well, you know, you don't get up in the morning and just suddenly decide you're going to have a mountaintop mine or a contour mine or an underground mine. It's dictated by the natural geology, where the coal seam exists. When you have the coal seams that geologically and naturally occur in the upper reaches of the mountain, then with the equipment technology that we have today, we're able to extract 100% of that coal from those upper horizons. So it's a method. It accounts for about 20 to 30% of our production in West Virginia. It gets probably 100% of the attention.
But even the mining companies don't deny this is a destructive process.
People look too short-term. They want to come in, look up and say, oh, this looks horrible. Well, this does look bad. They don't look at what it looks like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
People need to take a long-term view of this.
They need to take a long-term view. Look at the total big picture.
The companies say they're reclaiming the mountaintops they mine, contouring the land, then planting grass and trees.
What you're looking at right here, this area was contour mined and augered in 1993.
Hackworth's company is still in the process of reclaiming another mine site.
But this is what the final product looks like 10 years later. This is the picture that people don't see, because they fly over this in a helicopter and they don't recognize it. They don't realize that this area's been mined.
From the air, it is sometimes hard to distinguish reclaimed areas from original forests. Randy Huffman heads West Virginia's Department of Environmental Protection.
The objective is for us to make sure that coal companies are mining coal consistent with the intent of the law and the regulations. So we basically are there to make sure that they do things right.
Huffman showed us some of the benefits of mountaintop mining. In a state where flat land is at a premium, leveled mountains are good for building sites, golf courses, and highways. He admits there have been mistakes with past reclamations, but says it's far different today.
The mining companies in this state are very responsive to their communities. There's a lot going on out there that doesn't make the news and that doesn't get a lot of attention in the way of community service and giving back to the community.
We plant like 8 different species of trees, everything from black alder to white pine, chestnut, black oak, a wide assortment of trees.
Today, it's common for the state to require reclamation by replanting forests that were cut down for mining.
Whenever they issue you a mining permit, there is a reclamation permit that goes along with it in that package. And it tells you what kind of grass to plant, what kind of trees to plant.
We're seeing more trees planted every year, and that number just keeps growing. And I guess it's one of the common sense things. If you found hardwoods on this mountain when you got there, why not leave them?
And the companies deny they're engaged in widespread destruction of the landscape.
Well, it's absolutely not true, and you simply got to look around. You can do the numbers. The proportional amount of disturbance that we've had since we've been keeping records will run somewhere between 2 and 5%, depending upon the county you're in terms of the land mass. And that doesn't contemplate the reclamation. It's either being reclaimed, it's already reclaimed, or it's being mined. And all of that is occurring. So it's not destroying it at all.
But opponents of mountaintop mining say those figures are misleading.
Where you do have coal, this is a significant portion of 16 counties in West Virginia out of the 55. It's more than 2% when you get to those counties. It's at least 12% a few years ago, probably 20% by now.
And as for reclamation, they have a totally different view.
It's been called putting lipstick on a corpse, and that's basically what it is, because everything underneath is dead, and we're just putting a nice coating over the top of it so that you see green rolling hills. You know, but that's not the same. It's not the same depth, it's not the same diversity, it's not the same life that was there prior to the mining. And I don't know that that will ever return, and if it does, it will be certainly centuries from now, not in my lifetime.
And what about the valley fills, where streams are buried by mine waste?
A valley fill is an area where when you dig up the earth, it swells by 30%, and you have to have some place to put it. And the valleys in steep topography are typically the places to do it. We put it in the hollows. And that usually is an ephemeral stream. It means that it is only a ditch that has water in it when it rains or the snow melt.
That's an out-and-out lie. I mean, truly.
Opponents claim valley fills cause immeasurable damage.
We're talking about perennial streams that have a biological community that lives in it, and burying them 2 miles downstream from the very headwaters. According to the biologists, cutting off those headwater, streams makes a significant difference to the streams down below. Now, whether or not you can see that immediately or in 50 years from now, it still has made drastic changes.
At the Pritchard mine, the company claims water running down its valley fills is clean.
It has a little pond that goes through, a settling pond, and in case it picks up any soils or something as it comes down, and then discharges right straight in the creek. We do 0% treatment. And like I said, it's been sampled since 1993, and to date we've had 0 bad water samples.
But there are many recorded cases where mountaintop mines contaminate water with metals and acids.
You have a State Department of Environmental Protection. Don't they do their job and protect
Well,
the
the nickname for that division is called the Department of Encouraging Polluters. And their job is to hand out mining permits. Their job is to hand out pollution permits, and they're doing a good job of it.
But mining people bristle when they're accused of destroying the environment.
And we do more work, spend more time and more money doing reclamation work than a lot of people realize. To me, standing on the side of the road and holding up a sign saying I'm an environmentalist, I'm against mountaintop removal, to me, that's not an environmentalist. An environmentalist is somebody out here that's trying to do something, trying to make it better.
All those people that gripe about mountaintop removal, they'll walk in today and they'll flip that air conditioner on if it's a little bit hot, and they'll sit down and say, whew, sure is cool. I'd sure like to thank them coal miners, but I don't know how.
People in the Appalachian region are clearly divided on mountaintop mining.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. I was raised up with him. He was a boss.
Back in the town of Blair, Bill Ailshire's neighbor doesn't share his opposition to the mine above their town.
He don't care if I'm turning these mountains up. Like I told you, if it don't affect me, I don't care. That's the way people feel. But I tell you, this is going to affect, in the years to come, it's going to affect everybody.
Mining companies say they supply an essential product in a highly regulated, environmentally responsible industry.
They know how to run the dozers, and they know how to run the loaders, and they know where they can dump the rock, and they know what kind of rock to dump where to make certain that that water quality is preserved.
Some say this is the price that must be paid for cheap coal. Others say this price is far too high.
I mean, our energy today may be cheap when you look at your bill that comes into your mailbox, but the cost, the real cost of what, when we turn that light switch on, is felt in the hills and hollows of West Virginia and Kentucky. It's the loss of life, it's the loss of water, it's the loss of of forests that are never going to come back.
No, the coal company is here for one reason. That's to make money. And they're not here to help anybody. They're here for one reason, that's to make money. And that's nothing but corporate greed. They're not here to put nothing back into the community. They're to take what they can get and get out.
50 years from now, when your great-grandchildren will come here, your kids, they'll say, my God, man, why didn't somebody stop them? Who let this happen?
How do the majority of people in West Virginia feel about mountaintop mining? Surveys by the coal industry and its critics reach opposite results. The coal companies continue to apply for permits to mine the mountaintops. Authorities continue to grant them. And protesters say they'll continue their demonstrations, lobbying, and lawsuits to stop the practice. Meanwhile, the landscape in Appalachia is transformed. That's our report. I'm Gary Stryker. Thanks for watching.